Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to carry on machining the eccentrics for the valves. You've seen me machine the eccentric for the pump. You don't need to see me machine these, but I've turned this down to diameter and I've got the shoulders on there. Now what I've got to do, move this over so I can do the boring it for the crankshaft. So I'll just do that. Right, so I've bored the hole for the crankshaft. Now I've got to get that centered back up on there so I can part each one off. Right, so that's 2 of the 4 turned. Now I've got that second one locked. I've got 2 more to do on there. What I used, instead of this parting off tool, I used this parting off tool. This is alright for grooving and parting off little things, because to do something longer, that's the same width right the way through, and I think that's half the problem. When you're parting off, the sides of the metals are rubbing on there, whereas this one, the tip of the cutter is wider than the metal, so it's only the tip that is cutting. So much better and a lot quieter, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, so now I've just got to get on and turn these up to size the same as the others, so I'll get on and do that. You don't have to see me turn that down. I'll get back to you. Right, so I got these turned down. Now I've got to move that over to drill the hole for the, bore the hole for the crankshaft. Right, so now I've bored that out to size. Next thing I've got to do is get that back to square center so I can part the 2 parts off. See what I mean? It's a lot quieter. I know the metal's not sticking out of the chunks apart, but this parting off tool is so much better. I'm really chuffed with that. Yes, that parting off tool is definitely much better. It even cuts so much better as well. Right, so that is the 4 eccentrics for the valves. Next thing I got to do is drill and tap in there. Good. So this, I'm really chuffed with that. The only thing I was worried about is where this parting off tool was closer to the tool holder. What I was worried about is that might have done that, but hey, it's quite good. I may remachine this to get that to fit in there, or buy one slightly narrower and try and get it to fit in there. But other than that, that's brilliant. See where the tip gets wider there, so you haven't got the side of that part rubbing on the inside of your job while you're parting it off. Good. Right, that's the 4 eccentrics for the valves done. I'll put them on the crankshaft in a minute so I don't lose them. But what I'm going to have a look at now is the eccentric straps. There's 5 of these. What I'll do is I'll give them all a good file up first around the outside. The hole in the middle has got to be the size of that there, that shoulder on the eccentrics. And then you'll see that it's machined inside for the overall outside of the eccentric. There, look. Let's get these filed up. Right, I've given all of these a bit of a file up. Now they're ready for machining. Right, I've been looking at this full-size drawing here. These castings are pretty much dead on size. There's a little bit of allowance to machine these flat. So that's what I'm going to do first, is square these up. So I got square, so these sides are parallel as well. We'll do that on all of them first. Right, so I'm just going to skim that till there's no casting marks on it. I reckon one more. That's lovely. Maybe I'll do these shoulders while it's that way up, so they'll be square then. So let's move that down. that side done. Just move it to the other side. That's those two shoulders done. So that and that are all parallel to each other. But I'll just get this mounted so then I can do one of these sides. Right, I've got that set up to do the top of that one. What I did, I used a nice small square, and that join line that's cast into it, I've squared that up with that. So I do that one, I'll do the top of there and the top of that, do the top of that and the top of that as well, and then I'll have, this will be square and these will be parallel. Just right. Now what I'm going to do while it's over this side, I'm going to flatten the top of that off. That's beautiful. Now I'm going to move it across and just skim that. That's beautiful. Now what I'll do is I'll turn it over and do the other bit. Let's just look for the square up there. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. So that's square now. Now what I'll do is I'll turn it over. And then I can drop that down in the vise. Tighten it up, do the top of that one. And also the other side of that. Lovely. One more pass. One more pass. Right, now I'll do the top of, which way are we? There, on this side. that little face done. Right, so we've machined off these 3 faces, so they're all square now. If I put that square on there, you'll see. That's lovely. Beautiful. And then these are machined flat. They're machined flat. And that is where an oiler would be. So later on we've got to drill down through there for the oil way. Right, I'm going to get everyone up to that before I carry on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skim this side, leaving the mark on so I can still see me slitting line. Turn it over and machine it to thickness. Right, so that's all 5 machined or square on these faces and on the faces where the bolts will be done. Well, not that one, through these. I think the next thing I'm going to do is just skim all these sides with the line on it just to make it flat. Hopefully it'll leave that line on. And then I'll turn them over and machine them to thickness, which I think is 932, I think. So that's the next job then. Face off all those sides. Right, I've got this one set up just to skim that down nice and flat. Hopefully leaving these little grooves in there. So that'll help me later on when I come to cut it in half. So let's get this skimmed. Cut her a little bit more. Right. That's better. Do a little bit more. Right, that is lovely. Nice. Next thing, I got to turn it over and I got to machine that down to thickness. So I'll just get that set up. Right, I've got this set up now to machine that down to thickness. I need 932. So let's get on. I'll go one more pass and then I'll have a measure. We'll have a measure of that. So I'm looking for 0.281 of an inch, which is 932. Two, 286. What do I want? 281. So I got 5 thou to come off of that. Cut. That should be the right thickness then. that down to thickness. Take that out and have a look. There we are, 932. Perfect. So that's one done. I'll get on and do the other 4 now and get back to you. Right, that's all 5 straps machined to thickness. I'm pleased with that. There's a little bit more machining. It's Christmas Eve today, so that's me done now till after the holiday, and we'll get these finished. I think the next way to proceed on that is I'm going to mark and drill the holes with a good tight fitting for the bolt, which I think was an M4BA. And I make the bolts, and then I'll be able to cut that in half, clean up the faces, bolt it together with the nice tight fitting bolt, and then we'll be able to machine the hole in the middle. This here then it's got to be machined down to size, because from the inside of that hole there to the face is 3/8 of an inch. So by the time I get that lined up centrally on the drawing and that, I've got probably, well, not quite an 1/8 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, to machine off of there, but we'll do that once I get the hole done so I can measure it properly. I'd like to take the opportunity to wish every one of my subscribers and everyone on YouTube a very Merry Christmas. And please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler Showmans Traction Engine.